कोटि प्रणाम। गुरु मातृ पिता गुरु बंधु सखा, तेरे शरणों में स्वामी मेरे कोटि प्रणाम। तुम्ही भक्ति हो, तुम्ही शक्ति हो, तुम्ही मुक्ति हो, मेरे सांब शिवा। तुम्ही भक्ति हो, तुम्ही शक्ति हो, तुम्ही मुक्ति हो, मेरे सांब शिवा। गुरु मातृ पिता गुरु बंधु सखा, तेरे शरणों में स्वामी मेरे कोटि प्रणाम।
Hari Om all, Namaste and welcome to the third day of Navarathri Utsav themed on Prakruti Vandana, worship of nature. Today we have some exciting programs lined up, but first let's begin with invocation.
வருவாய் 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 அம்மா திருவே உருவாய் வருவாய் அம்மா வருவாய் 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 அம்மா திருவே உருவாய் வருவாய் அம்மா இருளை நீக்கிட வருவாய் அம்மா மன இருளை நீக்கிட வருவாய் அம்மா உந்தன் அருளை பொழிந்திடு துர்க்கை அம்மா உந்தன் அருளை பொழிந்திடு துர்க்கை அம்மா கல்யாணி கருமாரி காமாட்சினி கல்யாணி கருமாரி காமாட்சினி மகாலட்சுமி மாதன்ய மீனாட்சினி மகாலட்சுமி மாதன்ய மீனாட்சினி வரலக்ஷ்மி வாராஹி விசலாட்சினி வரலக்ஷ்மி வாராஹி விசலாட்சினி உலகாலுமாயே துர்கா தாயே உலகாலுமாயே துர்கா தாயே அம்மா 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 வருவாய் 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 அம்மா திருவே உருவாய் வருவாய் அம்மா வருவாய் 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 அம்மா திருவே உருவாய் வருவாய் அம்மா திருவே உருவாய் வருவாய் அம்மா திருவே உருவாய் வருவாய் அம்மா.
That was such a beautiful, heartfelt rendition. It was from Harini Lakshmanan, who is an alumni of Chinmaya Ananagar from the 2019 batch. She's currently pursuing her MBBS and she's also a CHIC member. Today is a very, I would say, an extremely lucky day for me. I'll tell you why. It's like connecting all the dots together in my life, which has shaped me. So I'm also a Chinmaya Ananagar alumni, and I've been a part of Chinmaya Yoga Kendra starting my journey as an 8th standard student from Chinmaya Ananagar. And I also get to present this in front of my 3 gurus and with our resident spiritual mentor, Swami Mitra. And just as I was setting out today, it started raining. If we were in any other culture, we would say that the rain spoiled sport. But in Hinduism, it is so beautiful that we would think that Varuna Bhagavan is showering his blessings over us. And I think this aspect of seeing everything and anything around us as God is what makes us even worship nature. Such a beautiful theme of Prakruti Vandana, which enables us to seek anywhere, everywhere, in whatever ways that we want, and respecting this whole world around us. Akashat patitam toyam, yata gachati sagaram, sarvadeva namaskaram, vasudevam pratigachati. As the drops fall from the skies and all of them just travel towards the sea, any prayer that we say goes to Narayana. With this thought in mind and having so much of nature around us to worship, we will get quickly to today's topic, which is worshipping water bodies by Chinmaya Yuvakendra and worshipping mountains, which is by Chinmaya Vidyalayya Ananaga. First, we will have Swami Mitra Nandaji, the resident spiritual mentor of Chinmaya Mission Chennai, the national advisor for Chinmaya Yuvakendra, and most importantly, one of the best storytellers, an avid cricket enthusiast, an explorer par extraordinaire. He has so much to share, and today it's with one beautiful Subhashitani. Over to you, Swamiji.
Yes. Am I audible, Kaushik?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Let's not waste time. We'll get into the Subhashitani straight away. Who's going to chant?
I'll be chanting and Darshana will repeat after me.
Okay.
Dashakupa samavapi.
Dashakupa samavapi.
Dashavapi samohridaha.
Dashavapi samohridaha.
Dashahrida samah putro.
Dashahrida samah putro.
Dashaputra samodrumaha.
Dashaputra samodrumaha.
Once again.
Dashakupa samavapi.
Dashakupa samavapi.
Dashavapi samohridaha.
Dashavapi samohridaha.
Dashahrida samah putro.
Dashahrida samah putro.
Dashaputra samodrumaha.
Dashaputra samodrumaha.
A pond is equal to 10 wells. A reservoir is equal to 10 ponds. A sun is equal to 10 reservoirs, and a tree is equal to 10 sons. Sons means daughters also included, children. Okay, so what it means here is a pond is equal to 10 wells. The value of a pond is equal to 10 wells. A reservoir is equal to 10 ponds. Like that, 10 ponds you keep together. Reservoir is a huge water body. It is equal to 10 ponds. A son or a child is equal to 10 reservoirs. Imagine the usefulness of a human being, that he or she is equal to 10 reservoirs, and a tree is equal to 10 children. This is told by Veda Vyasa in Matsya Purana. Matsya Purana, one of the ancient texts we have. In that text, long ago, few thousand years ago, Veda Vyasa, who wrote Matsya Purana, he says that this is how important trees are. Not just wells and a reservoir, etc. 10 reservoirs is equal to 1 child, and 10 children are equal to 1 tree. Meaning, trees have to be protected, looked after as living beings, like how we look after our children, and trees will stand longer. We will be born and we will go, come and go, but tree stays longer comparatively to us. There are trees which can live for 100, 500 years. I have seen a tree in California, redwood forest. Near PRC, if you go in the redwood forest in California, there are trees which are 5,000 years old. Can you believe a tree, 5,000 years, the tree has stood there. And they mark, this tree is 5,000 years old, this is 3,000 years old, this is 2,000 years old. And we are stunned by seeing some trees that old because they live longer and they are so beneficial to us. How many generations are benefited by one tree? 10 children can do some work, very good. People around will be benefited. But a tree which lives for 400 years, a nice fat tree, imagine how helpful it is for rain, how helpful it is for birds, how helpful it is for animals to take shelter, how helpful it is for travelers to take shelter. A tree certainly serves people selflessly longer, and more than that, it gives us oxygen. So we in this Navaratri must commit ourselves that our forefathers, your grandfather, great-grandfather, forefathers, right from Vedavyasa and before Vedavyasa, have told us the importance of tree and we should never forget it. So this Navaratri, as a respect to all those people and for our own environment, let us decide that we will protect trees. Wherever you can plant, you plant. And if you are in your neighborhood, you can't plant trees, let us say it's already filled, then take care of the trees which are there. Make sure that it is well taken care, well protected. So planting new trees, very, very important, which is equal to punya of 10 children. And 10 children is equal to the punya of 10 reservoirs. That is equal to 10 wells. 10 ponds, 10 wells, you can imagine the vastness of it. So this would be a wonderful seva where our culture has told us to worship nature, and tree has significance of this kind. Beautiful comparison. One tree is equal to 10 children. The merit of having 10 children, one tree can give because it stands there longer and serves unconditionally. So let us take, this should be our prayer. On the second day of Navaratri, we pray to Mother Goddess, Goddess, give us the strength to take care of the water bodies and to take care of the trees. Let us worship the Goddess by protecting a tree or planting a tree and nurturing a tree. And let this become a habit. Let us start planting as much as possible. Let us do it. And that would be also a beautiful way of worship. Worship is not always ringing bell and showing arati. That is one part of worship. Helping humanity is also worship. Yesterday we discussed serving others. Serving nature is also worship. And Vedavyas himself has said this in Matsya Purana. So please keep this in mind. Let us go back to our roots and let's be proud that our forefathers understood the value of trees those days and have told this to us. And it is our responsibility that we plant and take care of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Swamiji. That's such an important message. Now, for the first program on our agenda, which is a play by Chinmaya Yogendra. Often we've heard this word, let's go with the flow. But is there anything that can flow more gracefully, more fluidly than water? And what happens if we don't have enough water? 70% of this world and 70% of us, it's all filled with water. What happens if this water is not there for us? And that's what this play is about. Over to Chinmaya Yogendra.
What is happening in the world these days? As if people dying is not enough, rivers are also dying. So much negativity in the world. Lakshmi, can I get some coffee?
Where will I serve coffee from? All the utensils have been used up. There is no water to wash even a single tumbler. Did you speak to the municipal corporation? You keep complaining, but you yourself don't do any work.
Hey, what can I do? All the rivers are drying up, and apparently we won't get water for the next 10 days. We should somehow manage with water.
With your salary, we are not able to afford tap water. In this, we are going to buy bottled water. 1 liter of bottled water is 1,000 rupees. It's become costlier than petrol.
Before we find out what's happening next in Parthasarathi's family, can we quickly check how many rivers do we know? How many names of rivers do we know? 1 river's name, 2 rivers name, 3 rivers name? Can we check ourselves? Okay, so now we're going to test our knowledge about rivers. And so can we have the link for the word cloud, please, in the chat box? So a link will be given in the chat box. Using that, we are going to access it and start typing how many of the names of rivers that we know. Ready? Awesome. Can I have a thumbs up? You can all turn on your video. Doesn't matter. Show me a thumbs up. You're ready?
Darshana, you can share the link in the chat.
Just give me a minute. 1 second. Just a second. Keep recollecting what all names we know. How many ever? I want a big word cloud. How many ever names of rivers that you know? Keep trying, keep recollecting. Be ready. And the moment the link is put in, you should immediately start typing. Ready? Just give me 2 minutes or less than that. Just a second.
You see the link in the chat now?
The link has been...
Yeah, come
Right.
on. Click on the link and let's
start.
go.
I see the cloud growing. I'm going to share my screen. Just give me a second. You can see how the word cloud is getting bigger. It can get more bigger. Come on. Yes. More bigger. Yes. Yamuna, Ganga, Kaveri, Krishna, Ganges, Narmada. There is a lot more. Come on. Yes. It can get bigger. Come on. India has so many rivers, Himalayan, Peninsular, Eastern, Western. We have rivers which is with our neighboring countries also. Good, Satluj, Tapti, beautiful. Punni, nice. And more. Awesome. And we're going to close it in the next 3, 2, 1. This is so big and very nice. I hope you all liked it. And true to what all of you have said, India is blessed with so many rivers. It is not just the 20 odd that you have seen, it is a lot more. And we're going to see that now. India is so blessed. It has 50 plus rivers. And it spreads across the length and breadth of India and covers close to more than 37,000 kilometers. We have eastern rivers, western rivers, peninsular rivers, and also rivers with which we share our borders with our neighboring countries. You see them? They're so beautiful, so magnificent. If we can personify India to be a person, then these rivers would be the nervous system of India, which circulates all the nutrients from the length and breadth of the country. Now, for a second, just imagine if any of these nerves are, choked, polluted, contaminated, it would be a cardiac arrest for India, right? Worst is if, say, one of them dries off, it will be paralytic, right? That is the situation that Parthasarathy and family is staring at. Come on, let's take a look.
Stop getting early in the morning. It's getting too late for my office and it's been 2 whole days since I took a shower. Can you guys believe 2 whole days? Can you guys arrange for water somehow? My friend's parents have stopped work for the next 5 days. Why are you guys doing this?
Wow, there's no water to even brush my teeth. How will I go to brush my teeth?
That we cannot see the water.
Oh, what has happened now?
Kaveri has dried up. Experts say that we cannot see the sight of water in the Kaveri Delta for the next 20 years. What is the government doing? Where are we headed? What are the Netas doing? The nation wants to know. Today, joining our discussion, we have with us Minister TTR of the ruling party, Mr. Badal Gandhi of the opposition. We have with us also Mr. Banerjee, the leading industrialist of India, and India's latest sensation, the young environmentalist, Ms. Padma. Minister TTR, what do you have to say to this situation that we are in right now?
It is not right to blame the government for every loss that happens. Our Chief Minister has always invested in the welfare of the people. We have been giving subsidies to all.
Minister TTR, let me stop you there. You are not answering my question. Please stick to the point and stop deviating from the topic.
We were once a country which worshipped River Kaveri, and now we are staring at its dry riverbed. Under the able leadership of our Chief Minister, we have taken multiple measures like rainwater harvesting, building irrigation canals, and we hope to revive the river as soon as possible.
With that, let's go to Mr. Badal Gandhi. Mr. Badal Gandhi, what do you have to say to this? Your party has been ruling the state for over 70 years and yet took no preventive measures to save the rivers.
Last night, I woke up at 4 a.m. to drink water, and then I realized there was no water in my house. It was shocking. This government is focused more on helping their capitalist friends more than saving water. It's the industrialists who are the main reason behind this catastrophe.
On that note, let's quickly move on to Mr. Banerjee. Mr. Banerjee, what do you have to say to the fact that people are condemning industrialists for this catastrophe?
Our company has always been highly committed to saving water. We have reduced our water consumption from 50,000 liters to 40,000 liters a day. It is true, we took the riverbeds for our factories, but we have also planted 10,000 trees in compensation, and we will be also...
Mr. Banerjee, it is clearly visible in those statements that the industrialists are not willing to take any responsibility. Let us now ask our conservation expert, Ms. Padma.
You see, people are the real reason behind this catastrophe. Nobody is committed to saving water, and inherently, we are always wasting water while carrying out our daily chores. Every individual must take an action to conserve water. Only then will we be able to reverse this situation. It can be as simple as reusing water for multiple purposes. It is very sad that we've forgotten our traditions.
Ms. Padma, what exactly do you mean that we are forgetting our traditions?
We were the architects of our own indigenous methods of water conservation, right from the Kurds in Kashmir to source the water from glaciers to the Johads in Rajasthan. All these designs were based on the local topography. You see, our culture isn't just a combination of rites and rituals. It is also these harmonious and scientific methods of coexisting with the nature.
Thank you, Ms. Padma, for your valuable insights into the situation. And with that, we come to an end of our discussion. Let's meet again tomorrow night with yet another interesting debate.
Kulls, Johads, and the forgotten traditions. These were the words Miss Padma had used. Do we know what they are? Shall we just check ourselves? Now, we're going to show a photograph on screen and you need to guess which is the place. Are you ready? Can I have a thumbs up? Yes, that's great. It's on the screen now. Guess the place. You can guess it putting it in the chat box. Golden Temple? Pick on 200 rupee note. Closer, but not exactly. No one else? Take a 100 rupee note and check. Rani Ki Vav. Yes. This is the magnificent Rani Ki Vav, which is a 7-storied water conservation indigenous step well built by Rani Udayamati. That's brilliant. So next, are you ready for the next guess? Before we go to that, similar to now, step wells can't be built in every place. So depending upon which location it is, there were very different styles of water conservation which we had. So we're going to look at different indigenous water conservation methods that we had. Ready? Are you guys ready? Yes. So these are depending upon the location. So in Jammu, kulls were used to bring in water from glacier to villages. In Rajasthan, it was like a catchment area known as johads. In Gujarat, they were lanes which were cut out to capture water. And in Tamil Nadu, we had temple tanks and areas, big catchment zones. And in Meghalaya, it was bamboo drip irrigation system. It was so beautiful, and we always lived in harmony with nature. We never disrupted what it was. We just didn't bring kulls into Rajasthan or johads into Kashmir. We created our own ways depending upon the topography. That is what this Mother Padma was trying to explain. Now, it's time to check something more. It was not just indigenous water conservation methods. We also celebrated festivals on rivers. Can you guess which festival this is? You can type it in the chat box. It is a festival celebrated on rivers. Yes. Madurai Meenakshi Temple. Okay. Ganesh Chaturthi, Kumbakonam, Rath Yatra. I actually got the answer first. This is the Teppam festival, which happens in Madurai during Jan to Feb, and where rituals are performed on the waters of the Mariamman temple, Mariamman Teppakulam, which is next to the Meenakshi Amman temple. It's a beautiful, magnificent festival which is celebrated on the waters next to Meenakshi Amman temple. Brilliant. It's time to make one more guess. Which is the water sthala of Lord Shiva? You can give the answers in the chat box. As you all know, there are the Panchabhuta sthala for Lord Shiva, and the question is, which is the water sthala of Shiva? Tanjavur, Madurai Meenakshi, Kashi, Meenakshi, Jalakanteshwar, close, but Jampukeshwar. That's amazing. That's great. Yes, Jampukeshwar is the water element component of the Panchabhuta sthala of Lord Shiva. It's so beautiful that we have brought divinity even to elements such as water and all of it. So as we are discussing all of this, similar discussion is happening even in Parthasarathi's house. Come, let's check that out.
Our ancestors thought about saving and conserving the water even back in those days. But I still keep the tap open while brushing. I also pour away the water from my water bottle if I don't drink it. I should be more careful in the future. Maybe I can use it to water plants.
Back in our days, we used to celebrate a lot of festivals like the Teppam festival, where we worship the deity and water.
Amma, I've never heard of this Teppam festival, and all what Ms. Padma mentioned seems so new. I've never seen water as an entity to be worshipped, finding it a little tough though.
It is easy when we realize that water is water, be it in ponds, rivers, or even in a water bottle for that matter. They do the same function. Water purifies everything. We even have a beautiful shloka in which we invoke the presence of the holy rivers in the water we use. It goes like Gange cha Yamune chaiva
Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalismin Sannidhim Guru.
The best part is we've been worshipping rivers and water bodies for so many ages. It's been an integral part of our tradition. We have festivals honoring the rivers too.
Festivals honoring rivers are?
Yes, we even had shlokas praising and celebrating these rivers. Rivers were always mentioned in our scriptures. The Nadi Sutta hymn in Rig Veda mentions 21 rivers. Hindus always used to take a holy dip in such rivers. Occasions like Kumbh Mela and other Pushkarnis were always done to show our respect to these rivers. And I can even show a video about it.
जीवन है एक बहती धारा जिसका मिलता नहीं किनारा नहीं मिलेगी और मनवा चल गंगा की ओर मनवा चल गंगा